Alright, let's go with more wrestling action from the Montérégion area of Quebec. My name is Jay Walker, and this is the FML, and this is a Canadian DeathMatch Championship matchup, pitting our former Roi de Richelieu champion Freddy Crow against the current champion PD Skillz. So we now await the challenger. Boom, there's the man right there. Freddy Crow about to meet his match in the ring. Someone willing to push the limits of what their body can withstand, all in the name of the love of the game that is professional wrestling. Of course, we've seen Freddy Crow in some bloody wars in the past. You want to talk about Alexander Cable. Man, I have never seen something so violent, so brutal in the Canadian wrestling landscape. But tonight, against PD Skillz, that match might look like a cakewalk compared to what we're going to see here tonight, folks. Of course, we saw a new Roi de Richelieu champion crowned last time. Justin Turnbull dethroning Tyler Knox. Will we see a new Canadian DeathMatch champion in the form of Freddy Crow? Plenty more action coming down the line next week, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you subscribe. Green Phantom. Yes, Green Phantom making his way to the FML to challenge the monstrous Lafayette. That will be an epic encounter as well, so don't go anywhere. But now it's time to turn up the violence factor. You see our referee donning the gloves, always safety and precaution here in these deathmatch situations. As we're about to get our first look at the Canadian DeathMatch champion, PD Skillz. And check out that roller. Ugh. He just scrapes it across his jawline. We're gonna look at the gold that is on the line tonight as well. The Canadian DeathMatch Championship making its way to the FML. Freddy Crow wanted a challenge after losing that Roi de Richelieu championship. He's been salivating an opportunity for gold. But has he bitten off more than he can chew here tonight in the form of PD Skillz and that DeathMatch Championship? We are going to find out very soon as we see that roller. PD Skillz claiming the best in the country. Well, he is going to prove it tonight against perhaps FML's toughest, grittiest athlete, Freddy Crow. And we see the roller out to start things off. I can only imagine what tools of violence will be deployed here tonight in what will be a gruesome, bloody matchup. PD Skillz showing off his French linguistics. Gotta put that fan in his place. PD Skillz representing the whole country of Canada here in the deathmatch scene.
Le prochain combat est un deathmatch pour une chute. Et c'est pour le titre Canadian DeathMatch Championship. Tout d'abord, de st-jean-sur-richelieu et un poids de 269,8 livres. Il est le superstar, Freddy Crow.
Freddy Crow looks more ready than ever. Very confident, very comfortable in his element here. Of course, hometown advantage to Freddy Crow, the uncrowned king of the FML.
Son adversaire, dans le Windsor en Ontario et un poids de 220 livres et quelques onces dans ses poches. Il est l'actuel champion canadien de DeathMatch, PD Skillz.
PD Skillz very confident as well in this thing. He has held that championship for over a year, ladies and gentlemen. Coming to test his fortitude in the FML. A little stare down here between the two of them. This is not going to be for the faint of heart. We thank you for joining us. If you're a fan of the deathmatch scene, you're about to witness what Canadian Deathmatch is all about, folks. Freddy Crow gets a good look at the championship, hoisted high in the air on the line tonight. Back-to-back championship matches here in the FML. You'll love to see it. But what we are about to see is of another world. And if this is your first death match you are seeing,
You guys actually like this guy?
you are going to see blood, you're going to see mutilation, you're going to see human flesh being torn off the skin. There we go. Bell is officially ringing. We are underway here. Canadian Deathmatch Championship. And PD Skillz all the confidence in the world, but he does not realize who he is in the ring with here in Freddy Crow. Do not take your eyes off that man. He's out of nowhere. That sickle of death, that lariat from behind, could very well decapitate him here tonight and cause him to lose that championship. And PD Skillz finding out firsthand what it's like being in the ring with Crow. Up to his feet, the feeling out process might not be the most technical of wrestling matches here tonight. But they're gonna feel each other out, find what makes each other tick, see their weaknesses, and exploit them. As Freddy Crow tossing PD Skillz for a second time now to the canvas. Freddy Crow, such a menacing presence here in the FML is Freddy Crow. Ever since he returned from his sabbatical and his last brutal encounter with Alexander Cable I was speaking of earlier, and PD Skillz taking a shortcut now, trying to get the upper hand on Freddy Crow. Irish whip reverse though from Crow, and oh, watch out for that lariat there. Oh, chop block though from behind sends Freddy Crow to his knees. A Crow back up, about to eat a second one now. Back to the canvas goes Freddy Crow, as PD Skillz now exposes perhaps a weakness of Freddy's with that left leg. And now a knee DT driving the foot and ankle into the canvas, ricocheting that impact into the knee area of Freddy Crow. Going for a sharpshooter, but Crow having none of it this early on in the matchup. And now with the wrestling out of the way, PD Skillz looking for a little help and finds it in the form of a steel chair being brought in the opening minutes of this contest. Watch out! Steel chair to the leg. And Freddy Crow already favoring his knee. PD Skillz definitely came in with a game plan here to take the big man down and keep him down. And a steel chair definitely will help him along the way to retaining that Canadian Deathmatch Championship. We see PD Skillz doing a little window shopping around the underneath area of the ring, pulling out a steel chair. And what is that? Singapore cane wrapped in barbed wire. And I mentioned earlier, flesh being peeled off these men. Here we go. Oh, to the leg. Again, you can only imagine what that feels like. Oh, the jabbing sensation of the pointed ends of those barbed wire pricks poking and piercing your flesh. Oh! As each shot comes unexpectedly, and now choking the life, looking for a pinfall attempt here on Freddy Crow, but only getting a 1 count. We are way too early into this thing. We are just getting started, folks. And oh no! Now gnawing, grating at the forehead of Freddy Crow with the barbed wire kendo stick. And perhaps PD Skillz drawing first blood here in this deathmatch situation that Freddy Crow finds himself here in the FML. He once reached the highest of highs, capturing that FMLutte Championship. However, it was taken from him thanks to Hollow Prophecy and Tyler Knox. And now he finds himself in the lowest of lows as he begins to bleed and be in a world of trouble here with those plates. Imagine like a cheese grater. So many blades on those plates. Oh! Oh my goodness, now smashing it into the arm, the shoulder of PD Skillz, and you see it sticking to his flesh here. And he is not done yet. We see another plate there in hand of Freddy Crow looking to get at the forehead of PD Skillz. It is on there. Oh my goodness. As you clench your jaws watching this, it is stuck to the forehead of the deathmatch champion. All those blades piercing through. Oh, dropped on a DDT. And you see the blood immediately pouring out of the head of PD Skillz. We get a close-up of that pinfall attempt. And PD Skillz able to kick out. It's not the flashiest style of wrestling, but the grit of these deathmatch wrestlers, you've got to hand it to them. It is another level as we see the black canvas turning a ruby red color from the plasma dripping off the flesh, the head of the champion, and Freddy Crow has gained control of this thing firmly as we now see a door being placed in the corner post there. What is planned for PD Skillz? We are about to find out, folks. As PD Skillz measured, waiting in the wings. PD Skillz defiant as ever, coming in, but stepping out of the way. Freddy Crow eating his own demise there too, and Freddy Crow getting the shoulder up. Despite the blood loss, PD Skillz having the wherewithal to dodge that spear attempt from Freddy Crow, and now he's got the jagged piece of that door in hand, stained with his blood. PD Skillz driving it into the head of Freddy Crow. And what kind of man steps into a match like that, willing to be jabbed, stabbed? Oh, Freddy Crow once again driven into the door. Not much left of that hardware. And PD Skillz, look at the smile on this man's face as he directs traffic, as he directs the violence. And there's that roller that he brought out, ladies and gentlemen. Studded inch by inch with thumbtacks, pointed end out, and Freddy Crow has nowhere to go but to eat this thing. Sorry, those aren't thumbtacks, those are gusset plates, the same gusset plates that were sticking to the flesh of PD Skillz, now getting rolled around the face of Freddy Crow as Freddy now beginning to taste his own blood pouring down his face. Oh my goodness, the damage being done, ripping away at the skin, and now his arm. Both men now bleeding buckets out here. And the crowd getting behind Freddy Crow, who continues to taste. What a scene on display here in the FML. Not a regular viewing. And how's about that kick? Using the ropes for leverage and velocity, cover count in. No, Freddy Crow once again, left shoulder up there. Still wanting more. The crowd, you hear the discussion. See some of the women wincing in the front row. Kids with shirts over their eyes. It is a different scene than usual here at the FML. There'll definitely be some water cooler talk tomorrow at the office. What they witnessed here tonight as PD Skillz beginning to be choked out. We've seen this before. Freddy Crow setting up for that sickle of death, that lariat from behind. In comes Freddy. No, his leg giving out at the last second there. The leg that PD Skillz went to work on. Freddy Crow finally gains his balance, looks to finish things, but PD Skillz' strategy coming into play. And now both men on their knees exchanging strikes, bleeding out for a chance at Canadian DeathMatch Gold here in the FML. Both men rising to their feet in defiance of each other's arsenals here, exchanging forearms back and forth and elbows. PD Skillz looks the worse for wear here. Freddy Crow. Oh, both men eyeing up a steel chair and grabbing up. Oh, careful now. Duel of the fates with those steel chairs in hand. Neither man wanting to eat it across their faces. But both men exhausted at their efforts here. And here the crowd still very much into this despite the grotesque scene on display. Very much behind their man, Freddy Crow, hoping for a new deathmatch champion. And Freddy Crow would be a fantastic representation of Canadian wrestling for the deathmatch scene. But what does he have in hand now? A bag. And we can only imagine what is in there. I have a feeling we are about to find out. Opening up, looks like some thumbtacks, folks, on display. As PD Skillz rises to his feet, he does not know what's waiting for him just around the corner here. Freddy Crow, throat in hand, clutching at the champion. PD Skillz, Lutte escaping. Looking for a fireman's carry though. Freddy Crow back to the choke slam. Up goes the champion, down into the thumbtacks. And now we could have a new champion. Freddy Crow with the cover too. And no, PD Skillz somehow still kicking out. What is it gonna take to subdue, to incapacitate an opponent here in this death match? Straps are down. Freddy Crow means business here. Now looking to pick up the champion, perhaps drop him on his head. No, counter! Oh, Freddy Crow flesh first into those tacks, and we got a cover. Count. No, Freddy Crow saying, I want some more, sir. And PD Skillz rolling out of ring, not looking to escape. Well, maybe looking to escape. Is he done? I don't think so. I don't think either man has the word quit in their being, in their soul. PD Skillz returns. Just had to make a quick shopping trip, and out comes fluorescent light tubes. As glass has now been introduced to this mayhem, to this chaos, to this war. Both men's faces covered in blood. Oh, there it is! The lariat from behind. But after everything that has happened in this matchup, Freddy Crow a little slow to capitalize. And not going for the cover, instead sees the light tubes that PD Skillz introduced into this battle. And now looks to finish off the champion. Precarious situation that those light tubes have been placed in. Freddy Crow now uncharacteristically mounting to the second rope. Oh, taking too much time. PD Skillz has woken up, looking to capitalize. Has Freddy Crow. Oh my goodness! The massive frame of Freddy Crow driven through those light tubes, and we get a 3 count. PD Skillz retains in a barbaric battle of flesh, metal, and glass. PD Skillz still your Canadian DeathMatch champion. as Freddy Crow will have to rise from this war and look for another way to capture gold, as his flesh has been torn by the glass from those fluorescent light tubes. Gotta hand it to both men. They put up quite the battle. My goodness, what a scene here. And Freddy Crow not backing down. Eating the steel, eating the door, eating those light tubes, and still up. He was down for 3 seconds, but Freddy Crow could go another round if he so chooses. Nothing but respect between the two in this death match. Again, what a scene here at the FML. And if you're a fan of death matches, not that it will be one, but Green Phantom will be making his way next week to the FML to be challenged by the monstrous Lafayette. So make sure you subscribe. You don't want to miss that one as we get a surveying of the scene here, the remnants of war of PD Skillz and Freddy Crow. We thank PD Skillz for making his way to the FML. Of course, Freddy Crow will be watching him conquer the FML ranks for weeks to come. We hope you enjoyed this unique encounter. We'll see y'all next time the bell rings.